From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us here at Weather NorCal. I want to thank you, all of my supporters, all of you who watch on a regular basis. Much appreciated. We need to get that word out there. Tell your friends, tell your family about what's going on here. This is a great resource, right? Finding it to be kind of useful. You know, it might be the weekend for you. Maybe you're kind of wrapping up your day and you kind of just finished off your work week, and now it's time to start thinking about the weekend. You know, the cooler weather we've been experiencing the last few days, it's sticking around. It's going to warm up a little bit by Sunday, but still very mild anyway you look at it, and cold. Overnight lows tomorrow morning, the next several mornings as a matter of fact. But another thing we need to really focus our attention on are the winds. The winds are going to be gusting over the weekend, which is going to increase that fire danger. And as far as rain is concerned, it doesn't look like we're going to see anything and probably till the end of next week. So let's talk about the setup as we go into the weekend. What we've got here is a ridge of high pressure developing. Then we've got a trough of low pressure right here, cooler air, warmer air. But that's not the important part, how cool it is or warm it is. It's the positioning of that high and low pressure, okay? So you got high pressure right here, and there you can kind of see it right there. There's the area of low pressure. The jet stream itself is going up and around like this, and then you see how the positioning of that jet stream is right on top of us. This is a classic setup to see gusty north winds as we go into Saturday and even into Sunday. As a result, there is a wind advisory for the areas in blue here for Saturday and Sunday. Gusty north winds are in the forecast. Not today. I mean, today won't be that bad. A little breezy in the mountains, but not so bad in the valley. Then as we go into Saturday, look what happens. We're starting to see those winds pick up. These are forecast wind gusts, so we could see 20 to even 30 miles per hour. But I want you to take note. The foothills east of the valley, the north end of the valley, and the west side of the valley, west of I-5, is where I think we're going to see the strongest winds overall. Now, I still think we're going to see some gusty winds, say around Chico, but just not as bad as other locations in the valley, not to mention the foothills. Here's noon on Saturday. Now they're really ramping up. North is, again, you can see the north end of the valley, and then the west side, and then, of course, right here on the east of the valley here into the foothills. Then for Saturday evening, the winds subside a little bit, but still a little gusty at times. And of course, we're still seeing those gusty winds off in the foothills. Now let's take you into Sunday. You see how the winds are still very strong in the foothills. They're not as strong, it looks like, on Sunday as it will be on Saturday, but still strong enough that conditions will be very dry out there. And that's going to really elevate that fire danger. All right, so let's talk about that fire weather outlook. And there you can see right here, elevated fire danger. That's what we're looking at here for tomorrow, not to mention Sunday. As a result, we have a red flag warning, and take note, it's not just for the valley or the foothills, it's including Trinity County, and it's including Del Norte and Humboldt counties as well. That's because we've got those strong winds and very dry conditions. And let's take a look at the humidity. Today, you can see pretty good. The green areas are indicating where we have a good amount of moisture. The dark brown areas is where we have the dry conditions. Now, they're typically dry around here. It's just the wind element is what really helps to elevate that fire danger. So again, it's dry, but watch what happens even off to the west here. Look at all of this dry air moving in for Del Norte and Humboldt counties. Still a little bit of moisture, as you can see here on the coast, but we're still seeing things really drying out elsewhere. We're in the single digits for the valley as far as the humidity levels are concerned. And as we take you into Sunday, still very dry, still in the single digits, and still pretty dry even for Del Norte and Humboldt counties. So this is going to be the biggest concern over the weekend. Gusty winds and the dry conditions. And by the way, with those winds, keep in mind that you're going to make sure that your Halloween decorations are properly anchored, because yes, they can blow away in those really gusty winds. Rainfall in the forecast. Well, there's not much of it. It's not until the end of next week. Look at Thursday. There's that rain coming possibly in, not to mention Friday and even into Saturday of next weekend. So this upcoming weekend is dry, right? I've been talking about that. But as we go out over a week, by the end of next week, we look at the potential for maybe some wet weather. We're seeing the trend of wetter weather off to our west. and eventually having an impact on our weather around Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Let's take a look at those wave heights, and they will increase way out to sea here, so not a huge impact as you start heading closer to the shore. But looking at a marine forecast, you can see the winds from the north at 5 to 15 knots. Now, there are no advisories for the immediate coast, but again, heading out to sea, you're going to have to watch for some of those higher wave heights, which could create some problems if you do need to be on a boat. But look at these temperatures overnight. It's going to be cold. We got those temperatures dropping down to the teens and 20s off to the north and east. Now, the temperatures for the valley will really depend on how quickly the winds decide to pick up. The sooner the winds pick up, it won't be quite as cold. So the longer we have calm winds, the cooler it will get. But once those winds pick up, and those temperatures will start to increase. So this is going to be a little tricky as far as forecasting those overnight lows, especially for the valley. But we're in the 20s and 30s for Trinity County and the inland areas, and upper 30s and lower 40s along the coast. And for your Saturday, temperatures will be in the mid-60s. Now keep in mind, with the gusty north winds, it can tend to make things feel a bit cooler than they actually are. So if you are going to be out hiking or doing anything outdoors, be prepared for that brisk north wind, which will make it feel even cooler. You'll probably need to wear at least a light, if not kind of a medium-sized jacket, but still pretty cold off to the north and east, mid-60s for the valley, low 60s for Trinity County, but maybe some mid to upper 60s here for places like Hoopa and Willow Creek, 72 degrees for Garberville, and then of course temperatures in the low to mid-60s out along the coast. All right, so taking a look at your 7-day outlook, what I've done is I've included the chance for showers here for Thursday and Friday, and they may even linger on into that next Saturday. But for this weekend, it's dry, and through most of next week, we're looking at dry conditions as well. Now for the valley, we've got temperatures back up in the low 70s by Sunday, keeping that way at least through Wednesday, dropping with that chance for showers by Thursday and Friday, but still those fairly cool overnight lows. Taking a look at your 7-day outlook for the North Coast, you've got those temperatures in the low 60s for the next 7 days for the most part, with that chance for rain moving in Thursday and Friday. Inland and Weaverville also seeing the temperatures increasing by Sunday, and that'll continue into early next week.